And we are back on this side at the 12 o'clock hour. Woo! Jeremy, it's been some good vibes in the rap world lately. Finally, rap is back, baby.
It is.
A little bit of beef going on, and that has led into this next segment here. So I'm excited to get into it. For starters, obviously, for those not paying attention, getting into things, that there's some jabs being sent in the rap world. And my personal opinion on all this is that when there's rap beef, everyone wins. That the clicks goes up, the viewership goes up. I'm more interested in music than I have been in probably borderline years at this point. Yeah. So excited about all that, and that is going to lead us to this next segment of getting into the J. Cole, the Drake, and the Kendrick Lamar of the NBA. So Jeremy and I, we have not discussed. We are unaware of each other's choices, but we do want to break down who the NBA version of each of these rappers are. And now, before we dive fully into it, I will put my hand up. I'm very much a J. Cole guy. Very much don't like the apology after, deleting 7 Minute Drill, deleting it after the diss track. Any thoughts on that before we dive into it, Jeremy?
I mean, also, I am a J. Cole, stan. I love J. Cole. No disrespect to Kendrick. I'm also still a fan of Kendrick. Don't get me wrong. But J. Cole has always been that guy for me. Those his best albums were dropped when I was in middle school, and you know how that goes. I was loving that. But I hated that apology. That was so. I get it. He's trying to be humble and everything. I didn't mean it. No. Stop it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's whatever. Hopefully, we can still keep getting good music out of these two.
Yeah, so the full apology at his show, I have less of an issue with. I hate that it happened now. That if this was something that happened several months from now, I have zero issue with it. The fact that it was a week after
no, he dropped it on a Friday, and I think he did at a show Sunday night, and I think he did an apology.
Yeah, that's crazy lame. That is crazy lame, and I hate it. So that does kind of lead me into a bit of my choice here. So do you want to take the reins here? Do you want to lead off? You want me to start with the first one?
I'll lead off. Sure, why not? All right. This is going to be my basic one, okay? I just want to get this one out of the way.
Okay.
Drake is LeBron. I hate it. I tried finding any way to not include LeBron James in this list, and I don't think that Drake fits with anyone else besides LeBron James. Drake is one of the greatest. Right now, he is, most streamed, so I don't know if you can call him the greatest or whatever, because he's not a technical, MC or rapper like Kendrick and J. Cole have been. But he's the LeBron. He's up there. He also is a little bit corny and a little whiny and stuff. I think they both fit that mold. Even though, again, LeBron, he's my number one. So I don't want to complain too much on him. But I think LeBron and Drake is the perfect comparison in my eyes. I really couldn't find anyone else to fit in with Drake. I think it was there was players that aren't at the top of their game that I could compare him to, but I think that since Drake is so high up in the game, that I think it has to be LeBron.
I like it. I see the case. I'm not shocked by it, but I did go a different direction.
I am. This is what I want to hear.
Drake to me is the Steph Curry of the NBA.
Okay.
You can't argue with the success, can't argue with the wins, or can't argue with the rings. He's done it in a different way. He's changed the game. But to me, I'm surprised there isn't as much of him being thrown in the GOAT conversation as I think is kind of Steph could warrant. I don't think he's the case by any means, but I'm surprised there's not more people making that argument. For me, I love Steph. He's a blast to watch. I think he's done things a little differently in the same way that Drake has, kind of, bouncing back and forth between the rap lanes, pop lanes, and being a celebrity in the way that he has. So for me, I'm going with Steph Curry as my Drake comparison here.
I actually do like that. I might like that a little bit more.
Wow, look at that, converting you.
Maybe. I think so. I guess what's going to who do you want to go with first, J. Cole or Kawhi?
Let's go with J. Cole here. I think Kendrick's the one where we can kind of go the most branched off. So who is your NBA version of J. Cole?
J. Cole to me is a very laid back person. He is quiet, but also and he's also humble, but he also knows that he is that good. You know what I mean? J. Cole is definitely up there.
Don't get it twisted.
He's Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
That's my comparison.
I like that.
Kawhi's very quiet. He's humble. He does the job that he's supposed to do. He makes his money and just continues. J. Cole continues putting out bangers. Kawhi continues to be a really good, quiet, really good player. So I think Kawhi is the perfect analogy for J. Cole.
I like that. That's a good choice there. I do feel like, once again, I am a J. Cole guy, and I feel like I'm doing my guy a little bit dirty here. But to me, he's Kevin Durant. That there's no doubt about it. Pound for pound, talent for talent. He's one of the greatest to do it. But he does hop around a little bit. He does stay in his lane. Or he doesn't quite stay in his lane, I would say. And I think I kind of flipped a switch on Kevin Durant a couple years ago that we remember the burner situation and him kind of catching heat for this. Yeah. What locked into my brain with Kevin Durant, what I kind of realized is he's just the most normal NBA superstar in the world, that he just wants to be Kevin Durant, do his thing, that maybe I just want to be a normal person sometimes. I think J. Cole is cut from that same cloth, that you see the pictures and videos of him just riding his bike through cities or getting fast food in the way that like anybody else would do. So I think like that is fitting to me. And the biggest point here overarching is like, don't get it twisted that these guys can play. That Kevin Durant, when he flips it up, even to this day, argument for the greatest scorer of all time. So I'm putting Kevin Durant as my NBA version of J. Cole.
Love that. I do love that. Kendrick, this is the one that I think I'm going to have the most fun with here.
Okay.
Kendrick is a very, I guess he's not exactly humble. He's kind of humble, but he also, he really knows like, I am at the top of my game. I am better than you. He literally said it in the diss saying that he's big me and everything like that. Kendrick is Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler, he's a little humble, but he's aggressive and he goes out there to win games. And I think that Kendrick's the same way. He's an aggressive guy and they both know that they are extremely good at what they do. And they're not afraid to tell you, but they're still cool guys that I could see. So I think Kendrick and Jimmy Butler is my closest comparison.
I like that a lot. I've 3 very good lists. I like all 3 of those, and we're completely different on all 3 of those, which is awesome.
I love that we're different. I was worried about the LeBron one, but I'm happy. I'm happy that we have all different.
Yeah, so great stuff there. And by the way, Jimmy and Kendrick, I think, kind of fit the conversation of they turn up when it's time. That when the moment calls, they're ready to bring their A game, but they're also cool with coasting for far longer periods of time than a lot of the rest of these guys. But for me, I put Kendrick as Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
The reason that I say that, both kind of all away from the game, away out of the mix, you know, Giannis chilling out there in Milwaukee and Kendrick doing whatever he's doing. And also, if I have to say it, both of them lack a little bit of a bag, that it's not quite the pound for pound with the other guys, that you're not bringing it on this everyday day basis. And I get Giannis is a guy who brings it from an intensity standpoint, and he has the MVP, he has the ring, that you can have these conversations with how good he is. I'm not doubting the talent of Kendrick or Giannis, but I do think like they're not in the main lane, the main superstar lane, the way a lot of these guys are. So for me, I'm going Giannis as my NBA version of Kendrick.
I love that too. Oh, that's 2 really good lists. I'm glad we had something different. That was interesting.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I tried to dig deeper. I might have to do a full video or a full segment on this at some point for every NBA rapper comparison. The only other one that really jumped to mind for me, Travis Scott, I have as Ja Morant. I feel like that's a pretty electric comparison.
I like that.
Couldn't come up with anything for Joel Embiid or a couple other these guys, but I may circle back to this one. We got H chiming in saying LeBron is Drake, so you in agreement with you there, Jeremy. So
I think he just has to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. But 2 very good lists here. So to recap my top 3 real quick, I have Steph Curry as Drake, Kevin Durant as J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar as Giannis. And your top 3 once again, Jeremy?
My top 3 are Drake is LeBron, Kendrick is Jimmy Butler, and J. Cole is Kawhi.
Love it.
Tell me you couldn't see J. Cole and Kawhi hanging out. I feel like they are just like 2 of the same guys.
I love it. Good list all around there. So I like that segment. That was fun to do.
Yeah, that was fun.